Hello again, folks. This is Xenomorph once more with a update on the new Gauntlet. Well, here's a recap of the old one. Just pointing out some modifications and changes I made when I created the new one. First, a lot of these pieces were just kind of very simple. They just fit over the finger and didn't do much more than look relatively alien, hopefully, or as well as armor. So all I did was sand them down, polish them, gave them a little bit of silver highlights along the trims here. Trying to make them look as close to Xenomorph style as possible, including these little faces you see here. This one over here was a little bit of an experiment. I didn't really care for it, though I might still try to find a way to do it so that details of my future creations hopefully work out to one degree or another. There's its thumb piece over here. See here. Now here's how the original knuckle plate looked. It was very crude. It was a experiment on my part. I eventually found out that I could, instead of trying to print it all in one piece and make it curved in the program, what I did instead was printed it flat. Went ahead and added some of the decorations. There you go. You can see some of those decorations on it. And then when it was done, all I'd have to do is take a heat gun. It's over on my workbench over there. And just kind of bend and shape it into place using like a cardboard roll or something as a jig in order to help get a right shape. The glove you see here is actually a new one. It's about $30 on Amazon. I needed something a little bit heavier duty than the last pair that just didn't hold up at all. They just kind of fell apart not long after just simple usage. But these new gloves are holding up really well. I'm loving them. And with that, I can now introduce you to the new pair. Now this one I managed to add a fan brace as well. There's a good shot of it. So you can tell it's several pieces in one. The van brace is actually about 2 pieces. There's the seam right there. And then I added a third piece to kind of try and hold them together. And then the spike was kind of welded on afterwards. Now I did that because the elbow spike on the Xenomorph itself is actually just behind the elbow and doesn't move. And since one of my future plans kind of involves me wearing something on my back, I didn't want to get in the way, so I put it on the arm instead. Moving up to the wrist, I used actually a series of chains linking from the underside here. Oh, there's a good view of it. And then they just wrapped around, all the way around, and came up to this point on the underside here. Now the holes I made for some of the chain links, I actually had to do by hand, just because it would have been awkward using the program I was using, Fusion 360. But it still worked out pretty well. There's the thumb guard. I never got around to it on the previous one, but I was actually able to do a lot more with this set just because of having the 3D pen. Allowed me to improve a lot of the detailing, especially in the fingers. I might end up doing something more with the van brace, but that'll be a later project. The new fingertips are really nice. I added the little claw tips, so you can see that pretty good right there. I was also able to add the detailing using the 3D pen, which is how you see that little ridging effect. So you have rough and smooth here. Now eventually I will add some silver highlights to the tips and some of the other areas around the gauntlet itself to give it a more metallic look. Apologize for the quality here. The camera's kind of twitching on the light sometimes. But anyway, I'd say I started this revision project probably somewhere around January, if not maybe December. And it's been kind of slow going ever since, mainly due to work and shifts and interests and other hobbies that have been cropping up from time to time. Oh, there's more of the chains. I also added the chains from the knuckle plate here, running all the way to the van brace. And if you're wondering what they're being held to the glove by, I decided to use Velcro. That way I could just take them off and put them back on with relative ease. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. There's a good view of the knuckle plate. Now I'm probably going to try and figure out some way to make these guys show up a little bit better. I did find a few methods I can use for mixing the plastic with ink in order to bring out more color and detail to it, but that'll probably wait until later. But otherwise, I love the movement here. Definitely has a very xenomorphic kind of look to it. Now, I might end up doing is making some little patches for these areas. I was trying to avoid that with using the knuckle plates you see right there, or knuckle guards, but they didn't come back far enough, so I'm gonna have to put something underneath them. I'm either going to 3D print one piece and just duplicate it 4 times, and I'll probably decorate on top of it with more 3D pen work in order to maintain that organic feel and look to it. Eventually, but I'm going to do some planning right now. There's some changes I can eventually make, but it might take a while, and I'll probably put that off until later. As it stands right now, these gauntlets are about what I was hoping for. And I'm probably going to go ahead and make the right-handed one probably in the next month or so. And if you're wondering why I chose the chains, I wanted to give this Xenomorph a more medieval kind of look, so that's why you don't really see much in the way of cabling. Alright. Thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed it.